On my journey to finish what I started, I have um, gotten out my reading list, and one of my favorite books, next to the Bible and my own book, is The Four Agreements. I have shared here on YouTube and on my podcast how life changing this book was for me. And I am almost done, as you can see, with rereading it for the, I don't even know how many times it's been. But if you ever want to measure how much you've grown, are growing, or have stood fast to your principles, reread a book. Reread a book that was pivotal for you. Reread a book that shaped your beliefs. Reread a book that gave you tools to navigate healing, change, a pivot, or a challenging life circumstance. Reread a book. I'm on the third agreement out of the four, which is don't make assumptions, which was my agreement that stood out the most when I first read the four agreements. And one, I am proud to say that I have done much, 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 much better at making assumptions. I now ask the hard questions, even to of myself. I have the courageous conversations. I ask for what I want, and I don't do well anymore with making up stories in my head. I still have a little journey of making assumptions that, okay, this response must mean this. Then I'm quickly reminded, ask the questions. If you need any clarity, ask the questions, and don't take the answer personally, which don't take anything personally is one of the other four. It is the second agreement. But I'm on a third agreement. The first one is be impeccable with your word. The second one is don't take anything personal. The other one is the third one is don't make assumptions. And the last one is do your best. And the fire is still there with this book. I love it so, so, so much. And it's also made me excited to read the next books on my list. Some of them are also rereads, and some of them are new books that I have not ventured off into yet. But this just proved to me, one, how impactful books are, two, that it is true. If you go back and reread, I don't know if I wonder if it's the same with watching a movie. Like when I watch movies over and over and over, I just really enjoy the fact of knowing the dialogue. But the lessons, the impact, the shift, the perspective shifting in rereading a book that was pivotal in your life for me, and I hope it's the same for you, is just gauging how much you've changed, how much you've grown, how much you're growing, and seeing the new lessons. Like there are new parts of the book. For instance, be impeccable with your word. It wasn't just about your word as far as committing to something, it was your word, period. Like the Bible says, life and death is in the power of the tongue. It was be impeccable with your word. Like, don't waste the creativity that's in your words. It speaks about how God created the earth with his words, how things became, and you create your world, your life, your environment with your words. So be impeccable with that word. That is standing out to me now more um, than don't make assumptions, because that's ingrained now. But be impeccable when you're speaking. What are you creating when you're saying these things? Like, I knew it. I do it. I think about it biblically. I watch my words. I crop failure. I know what the harvest is with my words, the seeds I'm sowing with them. But really being impeccable with the creativity. I didn't think about it from that perspective of watching what I say so it doesn't manifest, but also saying more of what I want, what I desire, how to put my words out there to create the life and the world and the atmosphere that I want around me. I can't say that I've leaned into that as much. And that is also part of the journey that I was on this year of what do you want? And trusting God to have it and walking in and living out that power and authority that God has given you in dominion of the earth. And that reading that for that first agreement in the four agreements just reignited that for me all over again of taking this journey this year. So reread a book. That's my video for today and tip. Reread a book. And if you have never read the Four Agreements, by all means, get you a copy. It is by Miguel Ruiz. Let's bring it in so you can see it. And master the Four Agreements. Master the Four Agreements. Like I said, next to the Bible, it is my favorite book other than my own. And another one that's next to this one is The Mountain Is You. That is another great book. I have that on audiobook, and it is a very good book too. But the Four Agreements they're life changing, and they're like core principles to move you through life. So that's one of my book recommendations for life, not just 2025. And until next time, love well.